Well, we'd thrown that name out, but actually I started Metal Mania in August of 1981, long before he started his band. So he had the name for me, but I didn't want to name my magazine Metallica. I changed my mind. Me and Lars both had copies of the English magazine. I forget the writer. It was called Encyclopedia Metallica. And there was an old ancient book that had Metallica in the title too that I had found. I collect books. And so we just both had lists of band names, and that was one of mine. Then it became one of his. Yeah, they probably wouldn't have made it in L.A. They probably would have got beat up. Lars liked to pick fights with Tommy Lee, Nikki Sixx, and one time he got beat up on Sunset Boulevard because he was drunk and yelling at them. And he's maybe like half a foot shorter than those guys. I don't know if they would have survived L.A. It was lucky they moved to Northern California. Metallica moved from LA in 1982. They started Metal Mondays at the old Waldorf, and they had 3 heavy metal bands a week. And but pretty soon, all the clubs started booking a weekly heavy metal shows. So instead of maybe a year before there was maybe one metal concert a month, then it became one a week. Then it became almost every club, maybe 5 or 10 clubs, all booking metal once a week. So pretty soon there was metal almost every day, 365 days a year, from what had been maybe 12 days a year of metal. So it was a huge. All of a sudden, one year there was that many new metal bands to play all those shows. So and Metallica was part of that. So because they would play or they would go to the shows, and everybody knew everybody. It was a small, Berkeley and San Francisco are, 15 miles apart. Everything's close. And those were the 2 main places where all the metal bands played. In 1982, of course, it was the arrival of Merciful Fate, and very complex, heavy music was really popular amongst Gary Holt and all the guitarists, all the thrash guitarists. So they were listening to everything from Discharge to Merciful Fate, and some of them listened to classical Bach and stuff, And then Yngwie arrived in 1983 from Sweden, and he was a surprisingly big influence on every single guitarist, from the guys in Possessed, from Exodus. All the thrash guys listened to to Yngwie, and and borrowed some of his chops. Even if they didn't, particularly like his kind of rainbow, purple, deep purple type of music, he was a big influence in the Bay Area amongst all the musicians. For the Bay, it was probably Motorhead, of course. It was always Motorhead. Everybody listened to Motorhead. Diamond Head was an acquired taste. I think me and Lars were really the only ones who really liked Diamond Head.